Last couple of weeks, we lost a great coach. Not just a coach, we lost a great man in the sports world. Joe Paterno, Vincent Joseph Paterno, for those who I remember. Joe Pa, 46 years head coach at Penn State University. 61 years at the university. His life was football, and every time you thought he was going to stop, he kept going. To remember his legacy as a coach, or do you remember him for the Sandusky touching on, pedophile, touching on kids, him knowing, him passing knowledge? I think, what do you remember him for? Because me as a person, I think I choose to remember his legacy because of the facts in this Sandusky case. And for those who don't know, Joe Paterno was fired from Penn State University for reasons of knowing about an assistant coach molesting kids, and I believe they fired him because he didn't do enough in the situation. And with him being Joe Paterno, this man, you expect more out of him, but it was already brought out that he had passed on the information to the upper head. So at that point, what is his responsibility? What do you hold him accountable for? Why do you fire Joe Pa? And what I think led to ultimately killing him.
It's a good point. You can't remove the 46 years. You can't remove that. You can't, coaches now in collegiate sports, they're gonna know him, with with football, you're gonna associate greatness with Pat Paterno, Joe Paterno, and then on the contrary, in basketball, you're gonna think about Bobby Knight. You're gonna think of these players because of the things and the impact that they've had,
right?
And on many lives of many different people. In Penn State they have a library named after them.
Yeah.
You just don't name buildings after people, just to name buildings after. So the image of Pat Paterno, actually, it was tarnished. It was tarnished, but I would say this, depending on the person, because what Joe Paterno did for Penn State, what Joe Paterno did for all the men that he coached, how he's going to be viewed is going to be determined by that person. It's going to be determined by that person because their impact, and what he had on their lives, that's what they're going to have to do. And I want to leave it up to them to pass that because I never met the guy, but I see so many people giving so many glorious accolades to him and towards him because he did do good things, and you can't take that from him.
Okay, but let me ask you this: does firing Coach Paterno help or hurt Penn State in the long run?
46 years. 46 years. 46 years for a legacy to end that abruptly. It definitely doesn't sit right with many people. When they did that, or actually when these allegations came out, I can only imagine what that did for their admissions. And seems wanting to go,
people pulling out left and right.
Go to Penn State, and when they not only that, when the allegations came out, people pulling their applications. I can only imagine what they did.
We're not just talking about football,
right?
On top of them losing the #1 defensive player in the country at the time, they lost admissions. We're talking about not only affecting the programs, but we're affecting the school.
And then to fire Joe Paterno after that. I can only imagine how many people pull their application.
Right. I mean,
because you have a man that when you thought Penn State, you didn't think Litany Lions.
You didn't.
You thought of that football coach.
They could have been
with the glasses.
They could have been Penn State Paternos.
University of Paterno.
University of Paterno. That's true. I mean, regardless, and I say this to some of that, regardless of how you choose to remember Joe Paterno, from Sethonsports and Mr. SOS, I personally will take a drink for Joe Pa because I think we not only lost a man, we lost a legacy, we lost an entity, we lost something to the football world that you always don't even. I don't think you'll ever look at Penn State the same again if you're from our era. Younger people might not. But if you remember, like you said, the big glasses, the old man who is 85 but still running out on the field in front of those niggas.
And it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing when I you know, and I have my opinion on collegiate sports, you know, because I think it's the fundamentals. That's when you see the fundamentals. That's when you see athletes flourish, you know. And I think Penn State held true to this. You know, you never saw any flamboyant, you know, Penn State players. You know, they were playing the game of football.
They played football.
They played football, and that's what it was. They may not have been the Alabamas or the LSUs and winning all these championships year after year, but they played football. Yeah, and you have to contribute that to Joe Paterno. You have to do it. And to go back to your question, will Penn State feel the impact of this? Absolutely. Not only are they going to feel the impact of what the allegations was, and let's not forget there were boys in this situation who were hurt, who were molested. Yeah. Let's not forget that. So while all these things are going on, let's not forget about the truth. You know, and what happens is when you have such of a huge scandal. What Sandusky, 42 counts, indicted by grand jury, 42 counts, 1994 to 2009. That's the range in years of these things went on. So to fire people, to let go of people, to resign, when you have such a huge scandal, it's not a case, it's a scandal. This was ingrained. Many people knew of this. And many people covered this up. Because if it ended in 2009 and he was fired, that's even 2 years later. Yeah. So much information can be destroyed, so much information can be diluted, mishandled in 2 years. Exactly. So what you think can happen from 94 to 2009? You know, so will Penn State feel it? Absolutely.
Sad situation.
They're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel it. You know, and you can have your opinion on the whole situation, which you do, which I hope you do, because it's an issue and many people were hurt in this situation. But do I necessarily agree on how it went down? You know, I'm not the president. You know, of Penn State. I'm not calling the shots at Penn State. I don't know how I would have handled that if I'm you know, the board of trustees or the president. You know, but I would encourage people to do their research and I would encourage you to find your own opinion too, because nonetheless, what I feel that Penn State needed, for what happened, Penn State needed to essentially make the best of what was going on.
I'll tell you what I would.
They needed to calm the media down because people were upset, which they should be.
No, students were pissed off.
I'm talking about.
We're talking media.
I'm talking about Sandusky.
Okay,
I'm talking about Sandusky.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking. People were upset, and when you're faced with that, you have to do something to redeem yourself. And I think because of Joe Paterno's image and who he was, they needed a scapegoat. They needed someone to pass the blame, to divert the issues of what was happening. And even though it sucks, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And I think because of his image, because if you work for a company, let's remove everything out of the situation. If you work for a company, and if you're a manager, and something is brought to your attention, you're going to have to report that to your supervisor.
Right, and that's the problem. Because that's what he did. Now, if we're going to talk about the basics, it was reported to him by somebody who was lower than him. He didn't know what to do with it because at the time, Joe Paterno's 75 years old. He's an old man. He's not a young dude.
And we don't know when it was brought to light.
Yeah, but at this point, how much do you expect Joe Paterno to do? He's 75 years old. He's having enough time just making sure he can get up to get to the field. But,
I'm not gonna, you know, that's a good point.
No, but
75 years old.
But I'm saying 75 years old. His age you can't overlook that because we look at some people who are 30 and can't handle that kind of responsibility. Right. So for a man of 75 years old, you're putting that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. And I think at the end of the day, believe what you believe, do your research. Form your own opinion and just let it be. I think now's the best time to just let the man rest in peace.
Oh yeah, we have to. You know,
I mean, I just don't want to hear no more slander on him. Right. So, R.I.P. Joe. We'll love you, we'll miss you. And I'll say that. I know it's kind of a somber moment to be leaving on, but you know, it's a big week. The Pro Bowl is tonight.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
The Pro Bowl. It's not the NBA.
The pickup.
Not NBA. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
it's not.
The pickup game is tonight.
The pickup game. Flag football.
Flag football is tonight. Watch that.
2-hand touch.
Yeah, I mean, it'll give you something to watch. It'll give you something to watch this week. And just, you know, continue to pay attention to Sethonsports. I'm sure he'll have some more articles coming from me. I don't know what he got coming this week. I'll just let you guys see it. We'll have a poll go up soon, and every week I'll make sure that I hit you guys up. Hit us up at Sethonsports.net, hit us up at Sethonsports@gmail.com, and on Twitter at Sethonsports. If you have any questions for Dretty, just make sure you put his name in the tag on. Till then, I'm Mr. SOS.
Dretty, go Giants.
Go Pats. And signing out, be a fan first always. And we'll see you guys next week sometime.